Herzlich willkommen zurück auf der Connichi Couch. Der Tag ist gut vorangeschritten, meine Zunge hat inzwischen einen Knoten. Ja, ich habe jetzt für euch mitgebracht 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Damen und einen Herrn. Ich hoffe, ich habe mich nicht verzählt. Sie unterhalten sich jetzt in der nächsten Stunde bis ca. 22 Uhr über das Thema Cosplay. How much fake is too much? Angeleitet wird das Ganze von der lieben Yume, weil sie besser Englisch spricht als ich, deswegen werde ich mich jetzt wieder verkrümeln. Ich wünsche euch viel Spaß.
Okay, welcome everyone and welcome to my guest. Today, as already said, we will talk about the topic how much fake is too much, because in my opinion it's a topic that always comes up when it's about costuming, about photoshopping, and maybe you saw the little survey I did on Twitter and Facebook, and we will talk about the results. But first I will introduce you my guests. At first we have the lovely Caro Wunderlicht, also known as Rollekeeks. She's a teacher trainee for art. She's very experienced in photographing and also a picture editor. And she was a good child of my costumes in the past year. Then we have Alasia Hillian. He's known for his Link cosplays. And he also won the Nintendo cosplay contest in 2014. He was on the cover of the Kohaku magazine, promoted for Nintendo and the Thorsten Heine game collection this year at Gamescom. Then we have one of the reasons why we're talking English today. We have the lovely Lex from, it's totally fine. We have the lovely Lex from France. She has 12 years of experience in cosplay. She was Tales of Ambassador in 2014. And still promotes for Namco Bandai, for example, this year at Gamescom. And she was ECG French Section Group Runner-up in 2012. Then another reason why we're talking English is my good friend Ilun. She's from the Netherlands. She also understands and kind of talks German, but I think it's easier this way. And I invited her because she not only won the ECG in 2013 with her really well-made Edward costume from Fullmetal Alchemist. Sorry, I'm a total fangirl. She also came in fourth and third at the DCM the past 2 seasons. And she studied theatrical design, is a professional trained in costuming, designing, and makeup. And last but not least, we have Clavia here. She's self-employed as a hair and makeup artist and also as photographer. She is a professional makeup artist and does wig commissions. And she hosts also a lot of workshops about wigs and makeup. And this year she's also in the DCM finals and was back in, I don't know when,
2013.
Yeah, that's right. So, at first I have this wonderful picture of Caro over there.
Yeah, it's myself.
It's lovely Victor from Yuri on Ice. And this is the first topic I want to talk about, because in this picture you can clearly see her skin was edited.
Yeah, we did this photo shoot in my living room. On this picture took my good friend Julia, and I was allowed to edit because it was my camera and something like that. And yes, there you can see there is a lot of skin retouche, beauty retouche, because I'm thinking I'm a shaped girl, you can see on the left picture, but I think on the right picture it's more boyish. So I'm in the opinion, when you want to crossplay and have a skin shape like me, it's more female or something like that, it's totally okay to use Photoshop to make your contouring better or your shape of your of your skin more manly. I think it's totally okay. Or if you don't have something to bind your breast, you can edit it with Photoshop. So no problem, I think.
And I think that's also why I choose this picture to show it first, because you also mentioned a lot of things. And I'm sorry, I mixed up my my sheets. The first topic we are actually talking about is the body, because I think, I'm sorry, but it's also good because you talked about breast binding. I totally forgot to tell you that Alasia is also a cross player. He also made a very fabulous 2B. And I don't know if this is his link, so I already told you, totally manly, nice shot, totally. But this hot girl, it's the same person. And one of my first questions in the survey was, is it okay to chest bind if you are female to male, like Caro did? And nearly everybody agreed it's okay. Some did choose the unsure depends opinion, but I think that's also a health issue. And also, most of the people thought it's totally fine to fake your chest if you're a boy and want to be a girl and have some girls in front of you. So here we have another example for crossplay. It's Clavier on the left. We clearly have also some boobs. And I think it's also a good example to see what you can do with some. I don't think it's only the chest binding here, but you can clearly see that. So also on the makeup, but also the body and the body.
It's the hair.
I think it's the eyebrows, to be honest. So here you can see, oh, it's a bit cut off on the sides. I think I chose the wrong resolution, I'm sorry. So here you can see the results. And first of all, I have to mention I had 1,136 participants. Thank you to everyone who shared it. And I also want to mention that somebody noticed there was a problem with the mobile device version, because on smartphones, for example, the last and the negative and the tool technique unknown option was only visible if you slide it a bit to the left, and so maybe sometimes the weight of the answers is a bit more to positive and unsure depends because the people didn't know there's a negative or tool technique unknown. I don't know how much it goes into the statistic, but just want to let you know. So we clearly see as soon as it goes only to alterations you do on your body you see at the moment, as we sit here, sit at home, people are mostly positive. Are you all also in that opinion that as soon, I see most of you, but now comes the interesting part. As soon as people start to Photoshop, those are the last three. So for Photoshop a slimmer figure, Photoshop a bigger chest, and Photoshop a taller build, the percent of people who are going with the positive answer are declining a lot. Why do you think is it like that? Because I sometimes think when I'm feeling bad in the morning, I have to go to a convention and I simply can't wear my shaping wear because I would throw up. Why is it not okay to shape to Photoshop myself slimmer? Why do you think people have a problem with this? It's on.
Okay. I'd like to answer on the subject because I think it's very interesting. I'm part of the person that is mostly not for photoshopping myself slimmer or boobs bigger, anything like that. I am for photoshopping body part that sometimes might look disgraceful on a picture because of the position you're in. So I don't mind that. For example, something that everyone should know is that when you sit down, your leg begin way thicker and you do look fatter than you are when you're standing up. So I can understand 100% why you would Photoshop a bit of your leg just to make them look normal. But on the other hand, I'm personally not for Photoshopping someone slimmer or everything because I think it actually help to propage the fact that cosplayer must be pretty and thin, and that I think that it's not the case, obviously, and that you don't have to be very thin. Sorry, my English is bad. I have a French accent. I live to the cliche. So I don't think you have to be thin to be a cosplayer. I think I've known a lot of cosplayer who has a really beautiful body shape, even if it's not like super thin waist. And I think it's a shame, actually, to feel that you have to look thinner on the picture of your cosplay at the end to look pretty. Because cosplay is mostly about doing what you can with your own body and showing you what you sew or what you built. So I think it's too bad because with the Facebook page lately, we all have this feeling that the most popular person are usually very pretty, and not always the most skilled. But that's another subject. That's not always the case, obviously. But photoshopping itself slimmer or making bigger boobs and stuff like that, I think it's a bit too bad because you can be good with what you already have. And I think the best part of cosplay is actually cheating with what you can, like in reality. I'm not against wearing a padded bra or wearing 3 bras at the same time to have bigger boobs and everything. I think it's more part of the cosplay than just cheating on the picture. That's 100% my own opinion, of course.
Yeah, sure.
I don't disagree with the other, but I think that's why there might be a lot of negative comments because cosplay is about transforming yourself, and editing a picture can be seen by some people as cheating because it's not you. I don't know if you understand.
I totally understand.
I just want to say something. I think like the opinions are dividing here in two directions, because cosplay is also about being as accurate as possible to the character, and I can see that some people just want to have the pictures where they look exactly like the character, but there's also like this little step where you overdo it, so you just like can't recognize the face or everything because they have so much Photoshop. What I've heard from other people, or like from experience from other, like they are inviting people who like have millions of followers, and they are so happy to meet them because they are always like looking so pretty and always like so beautiful and everything, and then they see them in real life at the booth and they don't recognize them because they see this perfect person on the internet, and then they see the person who is real there, and they are kind of like disappointed. You know what I mean? So that's like the step of doing it too much.
Can I cut in for a second? Yeah. It's funny because the German convention that also invites cosplay guests from all around the world, they once told me that they always first go to see the people before they invite them, because it could be very disgraceful for everyone. So that's totally what you just mentioned.
Yeah, it's especially like in Japan. There's like this culture where they like photoshopping them dead in the face. You can't recognize them. It's really like a big culture there. But it's for them, it's like cool doing that. It's like good. I just wanted to say something.
Yeah. I want to say I totally understand the point you said, and the important thing is there. As a photographer, I want to make my model happy. So when they say, okay, I want look like the character, so please can you make me a little bit more taller, or my waist a little bit smaller, so it's totally okay for me to say, okay, it's art, I can do art, I want to create art, so I will Photoshop you, but I try to make it like this that you can recognize the person. Sometimes I do Photoshop like and then I look at the picture and I look on the original and I say, oh, that was so much. And then okay, I have to remove something, and then I show the picture to the model, and I always want feedback. And then, okay, do you see yourself in the picture? It is important for me that I Photoshop you like this, that you can recognize yourself. So I'm totally for Photoshopping everything in a certain volume, so you can recognize the person. That's important for me. You can make everything beautiful, because you said when you don't feel good at the shooting day, or you don't have the shaping where or something broke. As a photographer, I see in my position I have to help the cosplayer with this, and I want to make the cosplayer happy when they get the photos. So I can totally understand the point you said, that you want to show, so it's totally okay. I can understand both. I just wanted to say.
Can we just for a second, still something on the body topic, because everything is about real life and shopping. So body topic still?
I just wanted to say something about the body shopping stuff. So in my opinion, I think if you could do it in real life, like that's how I edit pictures. If I could change it in real life, I can also change it in Photoshop, because that doesn't mind. Like if I change it in a moderate way, like if I'm standing in a good angle, I have a really slim hip. And if I'm like standing straight forward, my hip is like, And if I'm posing in a bad way, then I can also change my hips to look a little bit better. But it's all a point of doing it in a moderate way and in not overdoing it. Like, I know the guy I'm cosplaying right now is like as tall as I am, weighing at least 50 kilo less than I am, at least, and his arms are like 2 centimeters tall, maybe.
In German, we would say he's a Lauch.
Yeah, yeah,
Porridge.
he's a porridge.
Porridge? No, not porridge. No, porridge is something else.
Whatever.
Go on.
He's just very slim.
Porridge.
He's super skinny, and I'm not super skinny, but I wouldn't Photoshop myself into the super skinny
Oh, please
version.
do. I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that too. But I think Photoshopping yourself with bigger breasts is okay as long as you do it in a moderate way. So, as you said, it's kind of art too, and it's also some. You have to find the moderate way.
You have to get the feeling for it, which is natural and which is too much.
Yeah,
too much.
Yeah, that's like he said with the Japanese people who Photoshop themselves, so they kind of all look the same. It wouldn't matter if they wore the same wig for like 5 characters. They could also change the colors, the cut in Photoshop. That's too much in my opinion, like changing everything. Then you
but
don't
it's
have
not
to.
only Japan.
Yeah,
Japan,
but
it's Asia. Let's call it Asia. Don't diss the Japanese people.
I think some Americans do that too, like changing everything. But if you could just take a doll, add a face to it, change the shape of the body, and dress it up digitally, that's not cosplay.
No, that's not. But I admire the people who can Photoshop this. Wow, it's so wow.
I admire the time they put into that.
And the skills. Sometimes I say, how they do this. So wow.
Okay.
Can I add a very small thing?
With the microphone.
Thank you. Quickly, I swear. I wanted to say, like, on the body topic, I think you also have to make a difference between what if the picture is a cosplay or if the picture is an art picture. Like, do you want to make a photo shoot to show off your cosplay, or do you want to get 3 perfect pictures showing the characters as you want? And I think for me the big difference will be here, that if you just want 1 or 2 perfect picture, it's okay to Photoshop as you can to make it the best. And if you want just to show off your work and your cosplay, then you try not to overdo it. But for example, if you want to make a guy who is almost bare-chested, so you can't cheat with what you have, because if you're a girl, for example, you have boobs, and
Also, if you do a guy who's wearing a very slim shirt, because I had that, and I can't bind very perfectly.
yeah, it's not
So
possible.
it's not
Physically
possible,
not possible. And in this case, I would say, yes, I'm not against photoshopping, photoshopping my boobs off just to be more manly, because there are something you cannot change in reality, and it shouldn't prevent you from cosplaying guys, for example.
Understand? Okay.
I think
Sorry,
we're mostly
I
talking
tried.
about like proportions, like changing it in Photoshop, but you can also
Can I
do
show the next picture because
Yes.
it's your picture?
Right.
Because I asked everyone for pictures to send to me that we can show them. And she showed me this picture and said, I don't think you can get more fake.
Yeah, I'm currently working like as a mascot costume making, and well, that's like a big bear we are making, and well, that's the head, only the head. The rest of the costume is like a big fat suit, like also it's wearing a coat with, I think the shoulder filling is like this big. So it's well, some people want to look slimmer, but you have to look more fat like a bear, so you have to wear like a fat suit underneath, and well, also the fluffy gloves. It's making you look bigger, and I think also with a costume, like also wearing a corset, you can make look yourself slimmer. Also with like hip padding, you can make your hips look wider, but your waist slimmer. So you can also work with like illusions a lot with costuming. So it will save the photograph a lot of Photoshop if you want to look having a slimmer waist and bigger hips. Just add padding, because we looked at the results and everyone seems to look fine with padding and a corset. So work as much as you can with padding and corsets. And well, and if you want to look taller, you can ask the photographer to photograph you from underneath, like with the right angle, so you will look taller from the right angle and such. And yeah, trying to take as perfect picture, like spot as a cosplayer with your costume and the photographer with the right angle and the right lighting. Because also the lighting will save you a lot of Photoshop on your skin and such, and makeup, also a right makeup. Because if you
When
want
we
to
come
hide
to makeup
if you
stuff.
want to hide bird marks and such, you can hide them with makeup. So it will save the photographer a lot of work. So try to do stuff as naturally as possible with the right angles and makeup and proportions in costuming, and then just a little bit, as much Photoshop as possible. So that's what I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
So yeah, actually
yeah.
that's the fun part, because you know, as a woman who want to cosplay as men, you have to take like body parts off or like flatten it, everything. And when I crossplayed the first time, I just realized how much stress it is actually also for a guy, because
I think
you
it's
know,
worse.
yeah, it's like I had to take like on fake boobs and everything. I had to wear it, then take on my bra, and I don't know if you can show like the 2B picture
Yeah,
again.
sure. Sorry.
Yeah, and also you can see that, but she's like wearing a white bodysuit, which is super tight on the, you know, crotch area.
I know.
And it's like, do
That
you know
sounds
the
wrong.
word tucking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to tuck myself, and it's not very comfortable. And so you have the illusion of, you know, of a woman down there. Let's say it like this way, and it's very uncomfortable, especially if you have to pose in that way. And yeah, but it was totally worth it. I just love the character, and yeah, it's so cool. I also have to like put on like a second face, because men also have like the beard shadow, which you have to cover and everything, and yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to add something about the survey in general. I had 2 or 3 people who were somehow offended that I did that survey at all, because they were like, it's cosplay, it's art, do what you want. I just wanted to mention it, that some don't even think it's worth the discussion, and I don't want to leave that opinion out. So I had like 20 people who answered all questions with positive, just to get that opinion into a sentence too. So the next topic, I don't think I have, I don't have pictures for that, but eyes. So most people think color changing with contacts. I think as long as it's okay for your health. I think there were like 5 trolls who picked negative. I don't know. It's barely visible. So, but changing color with Photoshop, we have it again. People seem to have more problem with Photoshop. Enlarging with contacts is also fine, but changing the size, so over here, with Photoshop is also, once again, a problem. Changing the size with makeup, totally fine. Fake eyelashes, also totally accepted in the scene. Gluing fake eyelids. I think that's something that's not that common in Germany, in France, or in Asian. Can you say something about it? Do you know?
Yeah, well, I have, of course, studied like makeup design, and Asian people have like a more flat face than we European people does, because we have like deep laying eyes and also more, a double eyelid, and Asian people are missing that, but a lot of anime characters are still illustrated with a double eyelid. So some people in Asia are just drawing a line, like a shadow, like just a 2D line, but on a picture it will look amazing, of course, but in real life you will see, oh, it's just a line drawn underneath the eyelid to look like a double eyelid. But some Asians are very jealous on us European people of having this double eyelid, and they are just gluing this part double, like having a fold, so it looks like having a double eyelid. I myself, I'm okay with it, because it's still a natural way of, changing your body, just like gluing on a wig or like a wig cap. So it's the same for me. I'm okay with that actually. So that's like kind of an explanation what like gluing a fake eyelid is.
I wanted to say something and I kind of forgot now. I had some eyelid tape. You can also use it as a European to kind of enlarge your eyes. So if you already have a double eyelid, you can glue it on your lower lower eyelid and just put it up to make your eyes look bigger. And I tested that. It looked horrible. At least on me, it looked horrible. But I think that's a technique that could also work for some people. So to me, it's totally fine too. Just like wearing contacts. And the only problem I think people have with changing the size of the eye is everybody knows Mei Tu Shu Shu. And I think if they think about...
We'll come to that.
Okay. Then,
We have a selfie filter topic.
yeah, but
so.
I think if people think about changing the size of the eye with Photoshop, they think about Mei Tu Shu Shu eyes like...
I think if you do it right, no one will
think
notice.
if you do it right,
Same
no one
thing
will
like
notice.
we before said in a moderate way is totally okay.
Yeah.
But if you overdo it, it's like boom.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, Mei Tu Shu Shu filter eyes, yay. So it looks like
But you're
half of
talking
your-
about the redrawing stuff, not
yeah,
the normal filters.
I talk about not the filters, so like...
Those where you look like a Chinese princess, even if you
Yeah.
photographed your dog, for example.
Yeah, right. No, I'm talking about the Mei Tu Shu Shu filter. That's also the beauty filter enlarges the eyes, so you can also do that in Photoshop
Yeah, but
by
you can turn it off,
masking
so.
the eyes and just getting them, enlarging them, and it can look good if you don't overdo it. That's basically it, I guess.
I wanted to talk a bit more about the eye subject, maybe, like with makeup and everything, because I know I have seen some people on the internet talking about how wrong it is to actually use tape on your eyes. Is it still on the topic?
Please continue, then I
Yeah.
can tell you.
Is that I know some people say, like, some people use tape on their
No,
eyes to change
we
the
will
shape.
come to that in the next topic. Perfect.
Okay.
Facial
Sorry.
features. I'll come back to you in a second. The
face
first, right, exactly. I think the first two are some kind of new. I don't know if they are new to me, but contouring and highlighting, I think I only know about that for 3 or 4 years, to be honest. I don't know about you, but when I started, okay, don't talk about that. 5 years after I started, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And also for cross-playing, I think contouring for girls to, also for male to female, it's a very important thing to contour. And it's, as you can see, super popular and positive. And what Lex started to talk about is the face tape thing. So with face tape, also pretty unknown technique. I think I have no other topic that has that many votes in tool or technique unknown, except for the eyelid, but we don't do that much in Europe. So please explain what is face taping.
So face tape is, as the word is saying, basically using tape on your own face to change the way it looks. I've mostly seen it in Japan. Okay, I haven't gone in any other Asian country, so I will talk about Japan. And I've seen it like 2 months ago while I was in a cosplay studio in Japan. And because we were all in the big changing room, and I saw girls just doing it. So face tape is basically you use tape on your face to make either your cheek going in a different directions, mostly your eyes. Meaning, I will take off my glasses. I don't know if people can see me, but like if you're doing this, for example, my eyes will look bigger. And if I will do it like this, my eye will look thinner, like supposedly more Asian, but I'm doing it wrong right now. So face taping is you do what you want with your flesh, and then you tape it. And then you cover the tape with makeup and wig, mostly. And it works mostly for the eyes, but also can work for the cheek and, well, all the parts of the face, basically. And I've seen some before-after of face tape that are amazing, because if you combine contouring that people actually know pretty well and face taping, you can look like a completely different person without a single use of Photoshop. I think it's amazing in a way because you're using your own body to look like something else. And I know some people find it offensive to, for example, when you're a European, try to have more Asian eyes. So like, it's offensive because you're trying to look Asian and it's not good. But in fact is, Asian people do it all the time to look more European and also sometimes more Asian, if I can say, because we all know that anime, manga, and sometimes video games characters are not really realistic. So they do it all the time, and they personally don't find it offensive. And changing the way your eyes look is probably one of the fastest way to look different and to be more accurate with the character. I would never try to Photoshop my eyes differently because I have no idea even how to do it. But with face taping, you just put some tape, then you cover it with makeup, you cover it with wigs, and then your face will have a totally different shape. So that is face taping, and I just wanted to say that I'm not against face taping because seeing some tutorial on some before-after picture, I find it amazing, and it should actually be, in my opinion, of course, a skill to be recognized as well as, for example, wig styling or props making. It is a skill, and some people are insanely skilled, insanely good, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's mostly unknown, and for the people that know it, maybe they don't know it very well. I don't want to assume, of course, but I also know some people find it offensive, and I think it's a bit sad because they're offended for people that are not offended. If you see what I mean. Just in this case of face taping, but well.
I also think face taping is a great way because no face is symmetrical. And if you have ever seen an anime series, everything's symmetrical. Like, their eyes are symmetrical, their faces are symmetrical, and you just don't have a symmetrical face, and you can change that with face taping if you know how to do it, which I by now don't. I tried to do that with like Band-Aid, and it was okay, but it didn't last very long. And there's a lot of techniques that are, I think, also kind of dangerous because I've seen people using gaffer tape to face tape. Please don't ever do that. Like, never ever.
If I can cut in for a second, I tried it once and it worked totally fine. The only problem I had, I wore the usual wig cap with the huge mesh, and you glue it when you do it there. Stop laughing, please, because you know what happens.
Yeah, I know.
I tried to make my chin a bit more defined, and in the end, you glue it to your wig cap. But you have to remove it after 12 days, hours of
and then you
wearing.
remove your hair too.
Yeah, some kind. So please be careful with your wig cap and also the kind of tape you use.
Also, there's one great way of face taping I learned from a friend, and she told me to use this tape old women use to straighten their neck. So
what's that? I never heard of that.
You don't know that?
No.
That's like old women use it to glue it like here and there, and there's like
I've never heard of that.
an elastic to it, and you hook it in like here and there on
That's
the
creepy.
Band-Aid, and you just pull it, and then you clip it together, and it stays in place for like 10 hours, and it doesn't get down, or it doesn't hurt or feel uncomfortable at all, and it's completely clear. So you almost can't see it because it's made to not be seen, and that's kind of the most amazing way to do face taping without being even recognized to do face taping.
If you do it good, you shouldn't recognize it.
That's why I'm saying like use old women's tape. I don't even know what it's called, but
Old woman's tape.
yeah, it's kind of
Just
like
Google it.
yeah. I think you can find something under that name.
But you can use Hansaplast.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah,
Same.
this may be the similar thing when you can use this shaping tape from Japan. My friend told me the Hansaplast is the same thing. So to face taping, I did this. I started cross-playing and face taping this April, I think. And I have to say to everyone who don't know or doesn't like it, I just want to say, just try it. It can be fun.
But be careful.
Yeah, I
Don't use gaffer tape.
don't use gaffer tape. But I overdid it at the time, so I taped my eyes too much. I couldn't close it. Oh. It was a bit too much, but it looks good. But just try it. Try out something you never would do when you go on con. Just maybe an afternoon, just try. So cosplay is so much trying and creating something new or find new ways to do new things. So just like crossplay. So 2 years before, I wouldn't say I don't do man. Nope, sorry. And then my friend, oh, please do Victor, for me. Please. Over 2 months, okay, I'm doing it. And then I tried, and I did it with a friend, and
No, I'm sad I didn't put the photo in them, to be honest.
no, but it was
sorry.
so fun. We just tried to. Do you look like a man? No.
Do it again.
Let's do more, and then put it again. Oh, wow, I look like a man.
It's funny because that's what I wanted to say is just now. Cross-playing is so much more work than actual cosplaying. Like if I cosplay a woman, I'm like, oh yeah, just a little bit of eyeshadow. Oh yeah, now put on those fake lashes. Yeah, no, but a little bit of lipstick. And if I'm cosplaying a man, I'm just like, okay, so now you have to get your eyeliner in a perfect slim shape. And oh no, it's too much now. Okay, so I'm just taking a bit away. Oh, okay, now it's not even visible anymore. Okay, so just adding a little bit of shadow here and a little bit of shadow there, and now I look like a drag queen.
It's like that one time when we posted a picture on Twitter and it was from Ladybug, and somebody was like, Adrian is wearing eyeshadow. And we were like, yeah, he does, because it looks good. Sorry.
Last DCM finals, I've done Kirito, the GTO version.
Oh, that's a topic.
I had to make a makeup design that was a hybrid between like a girl and a man. And it
Just to explain,
very hard to do.
It's a man, but he looks like a girl.
A girl,
but
yeah,
a man
but
in a female avatar.
And my first makeup test, I
look like
kind
a
of
girl.
looked like someone who just lost his metal band or something. It was too much eyeliner, and I was like, nope. You need like thinner, no. So yeah, it was. I think it's one of the most hardest costumes to put makeup on decently without looking like someone from a metal band. So yeah, very hard.
Okay, so next topic is very interesting in my. Wait a second, sorry. A picture Lex showed us, also with very heavy Photoshop. And is the other picture taken on the same day?
Yeah, exact same day.
So
That's why I put them both.
I don't know if somebody wants to add something, but I think it speaks for itself. Yeah.
So
do you feel comfortable with what the photographer did here?
No, not at all. Just so you know, this picture, this both picture was taken 5 years ago, over 5 years ago. It was in 2012, or beginning of the year. And as a photographer that did the heavy Photoshop makeup, I just want to say he's now a professional photographer who is doing an amazing work. So I just want to put this, that don't judge him on a 5 years old work that he doesn't show to people anymore. It's just, it was in my folder with just a picture of me. But I thought it was very interesting because there was obviously a lot of Photoshop on the left picture, and we were not aware of it before we got the picture. It's not like we were asked, like, is it okay? Do you feel okay? So we got the picture, and I was like, whoa, the color are great, but who is this girl? Because our picture was taken the same day. I was, I think, not wearing any makeup that day, or if I did, it doesn't show, but I think I was just not. And I was made thinner, and my face just changed so much. You can't see it's my face. And if you look very closely on the white and red thingy on the back, sorry, I don't know the word in English anymore, you can see it's a bit bent because I went made thinner too, and my tight were made thinner too. Everything was changed up until my face. So that when I saw the picture, I was like, what the hell? And my friend were like, who is this girl? Can you tell us? Everyone kind of made fun of the picture, this one in particular, because it isn't me anymore. And I think Photoshop shouldn't go overboard. So was I happy to get a smoother skin? Yes, okay. I hate how I look on the left picture because there is no makeup, and you can see circle on my skin, has some red spot on everything. No, it's not very pretty. So yes, I do like have a smoother skin, but this is just, this is a line. This is too much. My face shape was completely changed, and it's just not cosplay anymore to me because it's not me. And cosplay for me is about having fun, becoming someone else, but still being you, ultimately. So I am all for changing yourself in all the way you can to try to be the most accurate possible. But this is the kind of Photoshop I personally, very personal opinion, of course, really dislike. So I think that's not cosplay anymore when it's not you anymore, because cosplay is you becoming someone else.
So this is a topic that's very interesting in my eyes. Selfie filters. Selfies have become pretty famous, not only among cosplayers. And nowadays, I think everybody nearly has some kind of selfie app on their smartphone. And so I asked the people, is it okay to smooth and brighten your skin? And you can see that a lot of people think it's, not a lot of people, maybe 2/3, a bit less, think it's okay. And then it goes down the road. But for enlarging the eyes, we had that topic before. It's not that popular, changing the facial shape. We also talked about that. And what I find very interesting, a lot of people don't like these fun editions, like
I'm one of them.
and glasses and whiskers.
I'm one of them.
I was very surprised. I just added it because I don't know, to be honest, why I added it. But yeah, do you have something to say about selfie filters?
I just have to say,
do you use them? Do you like them? Do you hate them?
I use selfie filters sometimes when I post pictures on Instagram. So just to change the colors a little, make the picture look a little more interesting, make my skin look a little bit less like I took that picture in the evening of the convention in the darkest room I could possibly find, with someone looking as tired as I do, just to not look like it was done at 11 p.m. in the night. But I don't use like selfie filters for eye enlarging or face shaping, because I don't know, I try to do that in real life, or I change it on the actual pictures, because selfies are just, to me at least, for fun. Though I don't like those ears, glasses, whiskers, stuff thingies, Snapchat filters. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have some pictures of that too, but I don't like them as, hey, I did a cosplay photo of myself. Look, I've got cat ears.
Yeah, okay, I totally can understand, but I think for fun, it's the best way you can do.
Yeah, it's amazing to be like, oh yeah, we're all wearing such amazing, deep characters. Let's have some cat ears.
We did it before, so we had some time. And just 30 minutes, then we have to go. Let's take some selfies. Oh, I have an app. Let's do this. It's fun and the time runs. So for fun, it's totally okay. And I don't have problems with smoothing faces or enlarge eyes when it's for fun, so you can make it. So if you want to make real art with this, I'm okay. But for fun and for Twitter or Instagram or making of stuff is totally okay, and please do it. It's so cool. Please do have fun with filters.
What I like very much are stickers on selfies, like those sparkly stuff and hearts everywhere and smileys to cover your face.
But did you ever use the face change features? Because I used this one on accident. I didn't know it was on, and I had like this V-shaped chin, and I was like, it looks kind of weird. And later I found the slider, turned it down, and I was like, oh yeah, that's me. Oops.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that a bit too. I'm sorry, I talked too much. I know. For the smooth part, brighten skin, I like it a lot, because no one's perfect, but it's not because no one's perfect that you like to have your red spot everywhere on your picture that are basically a memory. Basically, my opinion on the subject is, if you can alter it with makeup, it's fine to use filter or to edit it. That's my own opinion. It's like, if I can do it with makeup, but I didn't for any reasons, I don't mind doing it with a filter, for example. But changing facial shape or stuff like that, it's not me anymore, so I don't like it. But I use an app all the time, that is called Makeup Plus. And Makeup Plus is basically an app that take a picture of you, well, usually a selfie, but you can also use a picture you have in your camera, like any picture, and then it will actually digitally put makeup on your skin on any picture. It also works on cat. It's very funny, by the way. And I use this app a lot when, for example, I do wig test late at night. And I don't have makeup on me. Maybe I'm coming from work and I'm really tired. I look tired. I'm tired. The light is horrible because it's late. So like my skin is basically yellow from the light. Thank you. And I don't have makeup. And I don't want to spend half an hour or more because I look like a mess already. Just to do a wig test. I have a wig test and I'm happy about like how the wig look, or I want to show with my friend. Basically, it's usually showing with friends. And I don't want to do makeup, so I use Makeup Plus. And Makeup Plus basically can do everything you want. It will smoothen your skin, change the color to make it brighter or basically less yellow if you have bad light. You can also change the color of your eyes. You can change the shape of everything in your face, and you can also. It also put like fake eyeliner, fake laces, fake eyebrow. It can do anything. That's actually impressive because if you put everything to the max, well, it looks like an alien. It's not you anymore. It's not even a human anymore. But I like this kind of app because it allows you to actually post a picture of you without using makeup, but without looking like the Loch Ness monster that just came out of the lake either. But I used it like 2 days ago after I cut a new wig, and I realized that it actually changed the shape of my nose, like without asking, because you can put a level on everything it does, so you can choose what you want and what you don't, but it was actually changing the shape of my face, and I had no way to actually take it off or telling him more or less. So I think for me that's might be the limit. And I don't like Snapchat app that put weird stuff on me, and that I don't even know why, but I know like it. I'm so sorry because all my friends use it all the time.
I think we have to do a selfie later together with everything on, glasses, whiskers, cat
Could
ears.
also paint them on in real life. So retro.
Cat ears on.
Yeah, we paint on cat ears.
Oh no, please. Okay, just some more pictures. Also Photoshop pictures because we're coming to the next topic now, skin. I put it in between because I think it's a nice example of a decent amount of Photoshop.
Here is something, one of the pictures I learned photoshopped a lot. We had a studio shooting, and there you can see you don't have to do so much. The model, I didn't Photoshop the body shape. I just was making something under the eyes and a little bit more smoother skin. So if you have the right angle or the right position for your model, you just have to make, I don't know, 20 minutes and the picture was ready. So Photoshop isn't everything. So I would say I like Photoshop, but it depends on the picture. So you have, as a photographer, you have to decide, do I use Photoshop a lot for the motive, or I can do a great picture without so much bling bling or contouring or dodge and burn, and what you can do everything. So it doesn't have to be so much. It can be a little bit. And that was my example for it.
Oh, yep. Okay, and here we have the results for the survey about skin. And I took in a lot of examples, but I think the overall thing you can see, be it with makeup, removing dark circles, pimples, scars, moles, most of it is okay for the most people. The only thing that sticks out a bit is the flawless, smooth look. But as someone who has tons of problems with clear skin, even when you are not a teenager anymore, but your skin acts like you are 13 years old and going to puberty, I had once pictures that we took not too late at the convention day. And I know I put on makeup and fixated everything with powder, but I had to make my whole skin new to look like a human because I had pimples it was horrible. So
Or it's something like that, you have a flawless skin or nearly so, but the day before the convention, it's like
sure.
red, here, there,
But,
everything.
but please be honest, we all know why it is, because we're all stressing us out to get our fucking costumes done. So that's also a thing that I always like to say, because you're expecting us to look good after we spend weeks without sleep, and the next day you're in the convention and slept 3 hours. My eyes are here.
Also, conventions are always way too early. Like I don't know. I'm like, oh yeah, convention is in
weeks.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, the convention is in 6 months. Oh no, wait, it's in 2 weeks. Where did the last 6 months go?
And it shows in your skin, it totally does.
Yeah, you remember that you have to do like 4 costumes for the next convention you wanted to do in the last 6 months, and you got 2 weeks.
What do you think on the moles thing? Because I once had the thing at the shooting for normal passport pictures at school, but I have a problem with faces. And they removed all my moles, and I have a lot of them, and I didn't recognize myself. They passed through the pictures, and I was like, no, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. Mine is not here, it's yours. No, it's not mine. Because I couldn't recognize myself, because, yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it depends. Like, when I'm cosplaying, I don't remove my molds most of the time. I have a lot of molds on my arms, which you clearly can't see right now. But if I'm wearing like something with short arms, yeah. Short sleeves, yeah. I'm making words. I don't remove my molds at all, because most of the time they are barely visible. But I think some people are like, I don't like my molds at all, and they are like in an unpleasant place, and I have got a mole like right here or something, and can you edit it? And as a photographer, I'll say, yeah, sure, I'll edit it if you want. So if the people are okay with it, I can also edit it, but I wouldn't edit it myself.
I once asked you to shop out the molds out of my cleavage.
Yeah.
Because I felt uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, because it just didn't look good from the angle. And
because it was focused on.
Yeah, because it was focused on the chest, and if you've got a lot of molds on your chest, it just looks unpleasant from a distance, because it could also be a lot of spots and pimples, and yeah. So I think removing molds is not a problem, but I think some people are like, no, I want to keep them. It's me, and it's who I am. But if some people tell me, hey, can you remove them, please, because the character doesn't have them, then I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's just like with removing scars.
Yeah, it's something like perfection. In my way of photoshopping is like, oh, okay, I'm removing everything. It's not. And then the model said, okay, you remove this mole or this scar. Okay, this is something I recognize myself. Okay, I just return and you got this, so no problem. But when I work, I totally in the face the most. I did a beauty retouche, so I will remove everything. So I remove it by myself, I remove it by my friends, I remove it by everyone. And if they say, oh, I wanted this, oh, okay, no problem. I remove the removing.
I also think if you aren't sure whether they want it or not, you can also just make them look less appearing. Yeah, thanks. Like I do that for work. I'm removing pimples and oily skin on people's faces. And if they've got like a big mole or something in their face, and I'm like, that looks ugly. And then I'm just editing it. I'm just brushing over it until it looks less ugly, but I'm not removing it because I'm not allowed to remove them. So people can recognize themselves.
Okay, I have to cut to the next topic and the last topic because we don't have that much time left. The last topic is composing. I don't think if you could count this as composing, but I think it's a good example. No, not so. Yeah, but you photoshopped out the background or changed it, and also another picture that was photoshopped for the background and added some effects. And we have last one that is very heavily shopped, so it's nearly painted. And this topic was included on Lex request because she had this in mind. And it was about first heavy change on costumes with Photoshop. And I think this speaks a very clear language that most people don't like that or are unsure. Then heavy change on the physics, redraw hair and cape skirts, this picture basically. Also not that much liked, but adding a new background or scenery like we saw in this picture, or maybe here with adding, changing the colors, adding some light effects, that's more liked by the people. But I think this is also the problem of art and cosplay and where you draw the line. Somebody wants to add something to that topic?
Sorry.
You don't have to apologize, but we are running a bit low on time, so...
I'm going to try to be really quick. I'm happy we added the topic because I think it's very interesting because for me this is where you draw the line between what is a cosplay photo and what is an actually art piece. And like, for example, if you can go back to like the photo before this, in this case, the photographer took a lot of picture and then tried to work with a different picture. Like some of the smoke was added from another picture, so it's still real, but he fused a couple of pictures. I really like this kind of work because they tried to make it in real. Then they changed the atmospheres and added some effect. I think this is where I would personally draw the line between okay and too much. For me, this is okay because most of what you see is real. Basically, only the light is fake. Everything else is real. And then they just play with the color. And then if you go on the this pic, is amazing in its way. I personally, very personally, dislike this kind of picture, but I think this one is really beautiful. I want to underline that. Everything you see, but as a cosplayer is fake, meaning the hair is drawn, the cat is drawn, the building, everything is completely fake, but the face and most of the body, I guess. And for me, this is not a cosplay photo, this is a drawing. This is beautiful, this is a piece of art, and it is beautiful, but for me, this is not cosplay photo. And you see lots of sharing on Facebook, and mostly, I think, Chinese people that do that. You see always the before-after picture, and it's like taken like in a room like this one with chair and people and stuff in the background, and then you see the after picture where everything is redrawn, and it is amazing on its own. I've never actually seen a negative reaction when people share that on Facebook, but it's another kind of it's not a photo anymore. That's what I meant. It is an art piece. It is a very beautiful and well-done pieces, but it's not photo of a cosplay anymore. It's like you do have a model, then you have heavily editing. So it is good, but it's not a photo, cosplay photo. That's what I wanted to say.
I mean, this picture could have also been someone without the costume, just standing in the living room, picture taken with a smartphone camera and then opened in Photoshop. And yeah, like a stock photo, and then it's completely drawn over. And I mean, I don't even know if the costume that person wore is real or not, because everything is redrawn and smoothed out, and you can't even see anything that's real anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
It's art, but it's not cosplay.
It's beautiful art, but the fact is you cannot tell anymore what's real and what's not. That's on one hand means it's good, and on the other means it's not cosplay
It's
photo
good
anymore.
as a piece of art, but it's not good as a cosplay photo. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not a
that's what I
cosplay
mean.
photo at all. That's
it.
what I meant with
Yeah.
the Asian people earlier. Like you could use a doll and just redraw and re-Photoshop everything.
Okay, so has anyone else of the participants to say anything? Because otherwise I would come to my conclusion. Because I found this beautiful tweet some weeks ago on Twitter. It says, cosplay culture is when your hair is fake, your eyes are fake, your chest is fake, your sword is fake, but your love is real. And I think that's...
I agree.
Same.
Can I add my own conclusion?
Yeah, sure. I
sorry.
just wanted to invite you to, if you want, everybody can say some last sentence, but please keep it short because we are as good as out of time.
Okay, so I know that lots of people on Facebook and Twitter, like social media, usually don't like it when cosplayers are doing what they call fake thing. Is it chest binder, fake boobs, or just Photoshop, editing, everything? And people are like, you're not showing the real goods, it's fake, I don't like it. The most important thing is people forget that you do not do them for them. You do it for you. Why do I cosplay? Because I love cosplaying. Why do I put fake boobs or binder or makeup or face tape or whatever? Because I like it. And that should be the only reason you do anything. And anyone is free to dislike everything, but you should not
nice
call
about
on
it.
you should not call on someone for doing this kind of stuff because you don't like it. Well, that's how we are, and we do it because we like it. And cosplay is about doing what you like, and that's pretty much it for me.
I mean, I'm sitting here, fake earrings, fake ears, fake chest. I even had fake height today because I wore like inlays, fake hair, fake bald cap. And I can just say, if anyone dislikes it, go ahead, dislike it, but just don't bother me about it. Because, I mean, I do it for myself, and I think it's about being confident about what you do in the way you do it. So if you like made-to-shoo filters, and if you're feeling good about having a V-shaped face, just go ahead and do it. Do whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as you are and as long as you love it.
Yeah, I just want to say one last thing. Just if I want to cosplay someone or something, or if it's a he or she or it, I can do whatever I want to. And if someone tells me you can do it, then they can just fuck themselves because it's my. It's for me.
Yeah.
It's just for me. Cosplay is for me. It's not for every other person.
It's always nice to get compliments, but
Yeah.
you still have to be true to yourself.
I only want to say one thing, and that's my motto with cosplaying. The character is the inspiration, the canvas is me. That's it.
Also, cosplay is a challenge, so take the challenge, try to make it real.
Exactly. It's a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I'm a makeup artist, and I try to make stuff real. Like, I love seeing other people do that too, and I love seeing people doing good cosplays in real life, but I also like seeing good pictures, like very well edited pictures. Just seeing pictures of cosplayers being like, oh yeah, that's how the character could look in real life. And I think that, to me, that's the real challenge, to make yourself look like the character in a more or less way.
So then I want to thank the audience and everybody who watched us in our live stream. I want to thank Connichi for giving me and my lovely guests the chance to have this hour. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. And I want to thank you also for your time and also the time we spent in the preparation. And thank you very much and have a great night, and we see each other all tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.
Ja, dann schalte ich mich an der Stelle auch schon wieder ein. Vielen lieben Dank, dass ihr mit dabei wart. Ich bedanke mich auch an die 5 Mädels und den Herrn auf der Couch. Vielen lieben Dank, dass ihr da wart. Ich bedanke mich auch im Chat, dass ihr fleißig mitgeschrieben habt. Ich wünsche euch allen einen schönen Abend. Ihr könnt euch gerne jetzt um 22:30 Uhr meine Abschlussmoderation vom heutigen Tag angucken. Ansonsten bedanke ich mich, dass ihr heute da wart. Ich wünsche euch einen schönen Abend, kommt gut nach Hause. Und ich würde mich freuen, die meisten, die hier im Saal sind, morgen wiederzusehen. Und im Chat, wir sehen uns um 22:30 Uhr wieder. Bis dahin, danke euch und bis später.
Tschüss.